Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to be diving into the top 10 best non-legendary Pokemon for the Master League. Now guys, I thought about putting this list together because I know not everyone has a fully stacked roster of OP legendaries to just throw together a super stacked OP team for the Master League, but maybe some of us out there maybe have a couple of legendaries, maybe a few legendaries, and a bunch of very strong non-legendaries that could pair together and make some strong, fun teams for the Master League. Now, the thought behind putting together this list for you guys today was the fact that we have a little less than a week now left of Master League and Master League Classic, and we've got an upcoming Go Battle Days this coming Saturday, guys. Now, if a lot of you are like me and you absolutely love Pokemon Go Battle League PvP, some of you might be itching to maybe do some battles this coming Saturday during Go Battle Days. So I thought with not everyone having a fully stacked roster of overpowered non-legendaries, why not put together a list of the top 10 best non-legendary Pokemon that you can maybe pair with whatever legendaries you have and have some fun this Saturday during Go Battle Days and for the rest of this week while we have the Master League and Master League Classic live. Now guys, we will be referencing PvPoke, and this list is not based on PvPoke's rankings, guys. This is my personal opinion and my assessment and analysis of the current meta in the Master League, and my rankings will not necessarily match PvPoke's just because it's a little bit different when you're live and in the battle, guys. You all know PvPoke is fantastic. It is the best resource for Pokemon Go Battle League PvP, but a lot of it's all simulation, guys. It's a little bit different when you're live and got to make decisions on the fly. So we'll be referencing PvPoke, and you'll see where my picks land versus the rankings on PvPoke, and I'll give my analysis as to why I may agree or disagree on PvPoke's rankings, guys. So, without further ado, let's dive into number 10. All right, guys, and we got number 10. Coming in at number 10 is none other than Sylveon. Let's have a look where Sylveon ranks on PvPoke, guys. Now, the reason why I ranked Sylveon number 10 is because it's a decent pick, guys. It's the second best Charmer in the Master League. You can probably guess what the best one would be. So the reason why I have Sylveon ranked number 10 is because it's a solid pick if you don't have a Togekiss and you want to utilize a Charmer to round out your team if you're maybe lacking in coverage on Dragon types. So Sylveon is a fantastic second option if you don't have a good Togekiss or if you don't have one at all, guys. And obviously you see the matchups here. It does very well against, of course, the Dragons. You got a solid win against Yveltal as well. But it also beats Zacian, guys. Would you believe that? There aren't very many Pokemon that can beat Zacian, but hey, Sylveon is one of them, guys. And the reason why is because Sylveon does crazy damage with the fast move pressure of Charm, but it has a fast activating charge move, courtesy of the Eevee Community Day and Psyshock. Getting to those Psyshocks faster than most Charmers get to a charge move allows Sylveon to hit those Zacians for some decent damage with those Psyshocks, guys. And of course, if you happen to get to a Moonblast, that is just going to do boatloads of damage because it does have stab. It's a very strong charge move with the fairy typing, and it does debuff the opponent's attack by one stage. Get a 10% chance of that. So the reason why it's number 10 is because it does not have the highest stat product, but it's just high enough to make the cut and have some success in the Master League. So if you have a Pokemon that can beat Zacian, guys, you're in a good position, and Sylveon happens to be one of them. Sylveon also has a good matchup against Zacian because it does resist the primary move that Zacian uses, that being close combat. And it does pick up some losses to the steel types, of course. It does lose to the primals, that being Groudon and Kyogre. And it loses to the other charmer in this league, Togekiss. But, guys, if you've got a solid Sylveon for the Master League, it can make a very crucial moving part to a solid team, guys. So that is Sylveon coming in at number 10. Let's have a look at pick number 9. All right, guys, coming in at number 9, none other than Rhyperior. Let's see where Rhyperior lands on PV Poke here, guys. Rhyperior is it's seen better days, and that's just because Escadrilles are everywhere, Kyogres are everywhere, and a lot of people are running those to counter all the steel types. So by default, Rhyperior falls short, guys, because it does have a lot of key losses to a lot of Pokemon that a lot of people like to use, like Escadrill, like Kyogre, like Groudon. But if you have a solid Rhyperior, it did have a community day. So a lot of people may have access to a solid Rhyperior. Maybe you have a hundo or 98%. And Rhyperior is a fantastic anti-steel Pokemon. As you can see here, guys, it beats the two of the top steel types in the Master League, that being Melmetal and Dialga, guys. Rhyperior also beats Zacian. Would you believe that, guys? Holy smokes, it beats Zacian. Another Pokemon that beats Zacian, my goodness. And it does have key wins over the two top fairy types in this meta, being Zacian and Togekiss. And it also beats Giratina Origin. So Rhyperior has some solid key wins on a lot of Pokemon that people use quite frequently in the Master League. Of course, it's going to be losing to Kyogre, Groudon. It does lose to Mewtwo. Mewtwo hits hard, guys. And you get a little bit outbulked up against the Giratina Altered form, which is not as commonly used as the Origin form, which it does beat. So Rhyperior being a rock type, rock and ground type with access to Mud Slap, that is a heavy damage, fast move pressure type of ground type attack, which is why it is a fantastic steel type counter. Rhyperior also has some underrated bulk, guys. It takes 2 superpowers from a Melmetal to take out a Rhyperior, all the while you're dishing out heavy fast move pressure with Mud Slap. And of course, the Community Day move of Rock Wrecker gives you fantastic coverage up against those flyers like Togekiss, like Lugia. And it's actually kind of crazy that it does beat Zacian, guys. It takes 2 close combats from a Zacian to take out a Rhyperior, guys. Rhyperior has some nice bulk in the Master League, and you get a great coverage move with Surf. You will be getting to it a lot faster than you do the Community Day move of Rock Wrecker, but if you happen to get to that Rock Wrecker, my goodness, those flyers better look out, guys. And you can hit most things for heavy neutral damage with Stab with Rock Wrecker. And you've got Surf to cover the ground types like Groudon, like Excadrill. It actually beats Excadrill, guys. It can tank 2 drill runs from an Excadrill, and you just fast move it down with that Mud Slap fast move, guys. So, number 9, guys, if you got a solid Rhyperior, you might want to maybe think about adding it on your team if you're running into a lot of steel types. So that is number 9, guys. Let's hop into number 8 on the list, guys. All right, coming in at number 8, guys, Shadow Snorlax. The big, cute, cuddly normal type. OP in the anime series, guys. If you're a fan of the anime, Snorlax is a beast in the anime, and it is also a beast in the Master League, guys. It's actually ranked 14th on PV Poke overall. Now, if you don't have a Shadow Snorlax, by all means, guys, use the non-Shadow Snorlax. It's going to do fine. The reason why the Shadow variant ranks higher and has made it onto my list is just because with that Shadow bonus, you still maintain quite a bit of bulk while doing more damage, which is very valuable from a Pokemon that does not hit very hard in its normal form. So you're just getting that added little bit extra damage from Snorlax. It can apply heavier fast move pressure up against those ghost types like Giratina Origin and Giratina Altered, while also hitting a little bit harder with its fast activating charge move of Body Slam, which does have stab, guys. You'll also be hitting harder with those superpowers up against those steel types like Dialga, like Melmetal, like Escadrille. All very common steel types that you're going to see in the Master League, guys. Shadow Snorlax is just a fantastic generalist. It works as a fantastic safe swap because not a lot of things can hit a Shadow Snorlax for super effective damage, as there are not very many fighters in this meta, guys. There are very few fighters. There are some Pokemon with fighting type moves like Melmetal, but Snorlax beats Melmetal. The only other Pokemon with fighting type moves that it would lose to would be Zacian, of course. Those close combats hit very hard, although it does take 2 to take out a Snorlax. So keep that in mind, guys. As key wins up against Metagross, you'll be applying heavy fast move pressure with the Ghost type fast move of Lick on the Psychic type Metagross. Beats Dialga with Superpower. You're going to beat Melmetal, of course, with Superpower, but, and this is a big but, it has a very solid key win over Togekiss, guys. So a lot of people have dragons, non-legendary dragons from community days like Dragonite, like Garchomp that you'd like to run on your team. It might be worthwhile to pair it with a Snorlax because it does have a key win over Togekiss, which is the hardest check to the dragon types in this meta, guys. It does have some key losses, of course, to Kyogre. It does lose to Dragonite. Gonna lose to Giratina Altered just because the Altered form is much bulkier than the Origin form. It's just able to hang in there and really spam off those Dragon Claws. And it does have a very narrow loss to Mewtwo, believe it or not, seeing as how Mewtwo would be taking super effective damage from the Licks. But that will not come without a cost of the Mewtwo, as Mewtwo is not very bulky and those body slams will add up. Mewtwo just wins it very narrowly. So yeah, Shadow Snorlax, a fantastic generalist, a fantastic safe swap in my opinion, and it ranks number 8 on my list of the top 10 best non-legendary Pokemon. So that is Shadow Snorlax, guys. Might be worth your while to add it to your team if you're looking for a solid generalist to just do some damage and, hang in there with good bulk. And, maybe grab a shield or two. You never know. So that is Snorlax. Let's move into number 7, guys. All right, guys, coming in at number 7. None other than Mamoswine, guys. Mamoswine, my goodness. Although it has seen better days, it does still has some good play in the Master League, guys. Coming in at number 7. It is a decent Pokemon. It's just not the bulkiest Pokemon around, and there are a lot of Pokemon that have the steel typing, which resists the fast move pressure of Powder Snow and the fast activating charge move of Avalanche. And of course, a lot more people are running Metagrosses these days, which can apply some heavy, super effective fast move pressure. But Mamoswine has play up against the Dragons, guys, and the Flyers. It has key wins over both Giratinas. It has a key win over Dialga. Everyone runs Dialga. And of course, Togekiss. If you happen to run into an occasional Yveltal, just know and rest assured that you're going to win that matchup pretty cleanly, guys. And it does lose to the big bad Kyogre and Groudon. The two primals do beat Mamoswine. And it does lose to Melmetal, of course, resisting the Ice-type damage while also being able to hit Mamoswine with super effective superpowers. Surprisingly, it does lose to Dragonite, which is kind of crazy because Dragonite takes double super effective damage from the Powder Snows and Avalanches. It's just able to apply heavy fast move pressure with Dragon Breath, and it can spam off those Dragon Claws pretty fast. But that's nothing to sneeze at, guys. It has solid wins up against some very strong picks that a lot of people like to run. You just want to preserve a shield or two for it because its typing does hold it back often, guys. It doesn't have the best typing in ice and ground. But it does hit very hard, and it can spam off those avalanches really fast, guys. And if you can get off a big bulldoze on a steel type, you're in a good position. So Mamoswine coming in at number 7, still a strong pick. It has fallen off a little bit, but if used properly, it can still put out the damage, guys. So that's Mamoswine. Let's have a look at number 6. All right, guys, coming in at number 6, none other than Gyarados, guys. Gyarados coming in at number 6. It is held back a little bit by its stat product, but it does come in over my watermark of 3,000. I think if a Pokemon comes in at 3,000 or more, it's generally a solid pick that you can have some success with in the Master League. It does cap out, I think, right around 3,300, which is not too bad, guys. And it is very versatile, guys. One of the more versatile Pokemon in the Master League, as it can run Dragon Breath and it can run Waterfall. So you can really mold Gyarados to whatever suits your needs on your team, guys. Now, it is recommended that you run Dragon Breath, and you want to have the Community Day move of Aqua Tail, and you'll want to run Crunch as well. That is the recommended moveset, but Waterfall does certainly have its merits as well, and it is picking up key wins over some very strong Pokemon that a lot of people like to run, guys. Gyarados actually beats Groudon, which isn't quite that much of a shocker, as Groudon does struggle against flying types. You throw in a water typing as well onto that flying typing, and it's lights out for Groudon. But it does pick up a very solid win over Kyogre as well, guys. And that is just because you are resisting those heavy waterfalls from the Kyogre with your water typing, and you're applying some nice fast move pressure with Dragon Breath, and you're able to hit it with neutral crunches that has a 30% chance to debuff. That's a very solid win, guys, over Kyogre. Kyogre is a beast, guys. It's so bulky, and those waterfalls just hit a little bit different. So if you've got a Pokemon that can counter a Kyogre, you're in good shape. It also picks up key wins over both forms of Giratina, beating Giratina Altered and Origin, and that is just because those are both dragons. And if you run Dragon Breath, you are going to be in good shape up against a dragon type, while also being able to hit both the forms of Giratina with super effective crunches. The Giratinas do fall to Gyarados. Gyarados is a very strong pick. A lot of people don't run it because they either have a better option or, just haven't thought about running it. So hopefully coming in at number 6 on my list, guys, if you got a good Gyarados, it's another non-legendary Pokemon that is very strong, that has had a community day. So it's very likely that a lot of people have a Gyarados that they could consider running in the Master League, guys. Now, it does lose to Melmetal, it does lose to the 2 top fairy types, that being Togekiss and Zacian. Surprisingly, it does lose to Dragonite, and that is just because Dragonite will outpace to those Dragon Claws. You're not able to hit. You can throw Aqua Tail, but it's not going to hit for super effect. It's going to be resisted. Your only option really up against the Dragonite is Crunch, and Dragonite has a little bit more bulk than Gyarados, which is why it does take the win. And you do lose to the other top Dragon type in Dialga, but having solid wins over the 2 primals in Kyogre and Groudon, which a lot of people like to run, and both Giratinas, I think is worth considering. And again, Gyarados is fantastic because it has such a versatile moveset. You can really mold it to whatever your team calls for. It has very high utility for the Master League, and where the options are limited in the Master League, having a Pokemon with such high utility is quite valuable, guys. So that is Gyarados coming in at number 6. Strong pick, very versatile. Let's have a look at number 5. All right, guys, Coming in at number 5, we've got Metagross. Metagross, its stock is certainly on the rise this day and age with all the Zacians running rampant in the Master League. A lot more people are dusting off the Metagross to show Zacian who's boss, guys. And that is one of the key reasons why it is ranking higher than it would normally have in the past on my list. Metagross has seen better days, but it is becoming more and more prominent just because it is able to apply heavy, super effective, fast move pressure to the Zacians that are everywhere in the Master League. And it does have that very, very valuable steel typing, which can resist the Dragon Breath damage from all the dragons in the Master League as well. It is, however, in my opinion, held back by its psychic typing, guys. Now, that psychic typing does come in handy to make fighting type damage neutral as opposed to super effective, but it takes super effective damage from ghost type attacks, guys. And with Giratinas, the Giratinas are everywhere, so that is, I think, what holds Metagross back, but it is finding much more valuable these days, as it does have a solid win over Zacian. Zacian, in my opinion, is the best Pokemon in the Master League, and everybody has a Zacian right now. So having a Pokemon, one of the few viable Pokemon that can apply heavy, super effective, fast move pressure to Zacian is invaluable in my opinion, which is why it's on the rise, guys. Has a key win up against the other prominent fairy type in this meta, being Togekiss, of course. Being able to shut down a Togekiss is not only super satisfying if you're able to get your Metagross locked on a Togekiss, but it is invaluable as Togekiss is a powerhouse in this meta, guys. You're resisting those charms all while doing heavy, super effective fast move pressure with your bullet punch fast move. It does beat other steel types in this meta, guys, because on Metagross you run Earthquake. Earthquake is fantastic, guys, because a lot of people might expect you to bait with the Meteor Mash Community Day move, and next thing you know, they're getting one shot with a super effective Earthquake. Earthquake is also fantastic for when shields are down. You can just get rid of those pesky steel types with one shot, guys. You pick up a key win over Melmetal because Melmetal will primarily be throwing superpowers at you, and this is where the psychic typing comes in handy because it makes those superpowers give neutral damage as opposed to super effective damage. So they don't do a whole lot, and you're able to really threaten with a Earthquake. That's why it beats Melmetal. Has a solid win over Dragonite as well. Dragonite cannot do a whole lot to a Metagross, as Metagross hard walls Dragonite. It resists everything that Dragonite could possibly throw. Of course, you beat Zacian, which is never a bad thing these days, guys. And you got a key win up against Dialga because, again, you're resisting that Dragon Breath fast move pressure, all while being able to hit for super effective with an Earthquake. And if you happen to bait with a Meteor Mash, that does some decent resisted damage as well. Now, you got a super hard loss to Kyogre, guys. Kyogre is probably the hardest check to a Metagross, just because with that water typing, it is resisting your fast move pressure of Bullet Punch. And your only shot is to land an Earthquake, and even then it does not KO, guys. Kyogre can hang on and just waterfall you down. That's why it loses to Kyogre. Of course, it's going to be losing to the two Giratinas, as they are able to apply heavy, super effective fast move pressure with the Shadow Claws, and they can hit you with those ghost type moves, which are super effective as well. Got a hard loss to Groudon. Groudon absolutely dominates Metagross, although you can fight back a little bit with those hard-hitting Meteor Mashes. They do hit for heavy neutral damage. It's just Groudon is able to outpace to those super effective fire punches, and they hit really hard. So Metagross loses pretty hard to Groudon. And of course, Yveltal as well, able to hit you with super effective Dark Pulses. One Dark Pulse nearly one-shots at Metagross, which is never feels good. But Metagross is one of the more accessible, strong, non-legendary picks. Also has had a community day. So I'm imagining a lot of you out there have access to a very good Metagross that you could possibly run in the Master League. And of course, Metagross is one of the hardest checks to Zacian, guys. So you might want to consider dusting off your Metagross if you're itching to do a couple of battles or two this coming Go Battle Days this Saturday, guys. So that's Metagross. Not bad these days, I'm going to tell you. It is not bad to run Metagross these days. You just got to build a solid team around it. So without further ado, guys, let's move into number 4 on the list. All right, guys, coming in at number 4, none other than Dragonite, the OG dragon of the Pokemon world, guys. Dragonite, one of my favorites, such a powerhouse in the anime, and it is a powerhouse in the Master League as well, guys. It's just it has fallen off since prior seasons just because there are better dragon type options that have higher stat products than Dragonite. But again, if you don't have a fully stacked roster of legendaries and you happen to have a Dragonite kicking around with some good IVs for the Master League, you might want to consider it, guys, because let's not forget, Dragonite can put in some work in the Master League. Let's just say that, guys. Dragonite has some very strong wins over a lot of the top meta picks in the Master League, guys. It beats Kyogre pretty hard. I just got to watch out for a massively super effective Blizzard, but Kyogre takes forever to get to the Blizzard, and you know they're going to throw it by the time they get to it. It also hard walls Groudon, as it does resist everything Groudon could possibly throw at it, guys. If you can hard wall a Groudon, you're in good shape. It beats both versions of Giratina, and it beats the super sneaky, super solid pick in Yveltal as well, guys. If you got solid wins over those top meta picks, being Kyogre, Groudon, both Giratinas, and Yveltal, you're in good shape. Of course, you're going to be falling pretty hard to those Togekisses, of course, as with any dragon. It doesn't have a fun time up against those steel types either. And most Zacians are running Play Rough as well, all while Zacian also resists the Dragon Claws and Dragon Breaths. So it does have a pretty hard loss to Zacian as well. It does lose to the top steel types in Melmetal and Dialga. And of course, Lugia being so bulky, it can withstand that fast move pressure and hit you with super effective fast move pressure with Dragon Tail. So it does fall to a few of the top meta, but it has key wins over a lot of the top meta as well, guys. You can beat the Primals, you beat the Giratinas, you beat Yveltal, you'll beat Ho-Oh as well, guys. You beat Garchomp. You can actually edge out the win over Escadrille as well, guys. Dragonite, let's not sleep on Dragonite. It is a fantastic pick. Just a lot of people are going with other picks that might be a better option. But if you don't have that better option, guys, and you want a strong non-legendary to run on your team that has good coverage on a lot of the top picks, like Kyogre, like Groudon, like the Giratinas, like Ho-Oh, Dragonite is fantastic, guys. Super solid, which is why it's coming in at number 4 on my list, guys. I love Dragonite. It's a fantastic pick, and it has had a community day, so it's very likely that a lot of you out there, I'm sure, have a hundo or two that you might be able to run and throw some people off and really shock some people. A lot of people have forgotten how good Dragonite is. It's a fantastic pick for the Master League, which is why it's number 4 on my list. That's Dragonite. Let's have a look at number 3, guys. All right, guys, number 3. We got Garchomp, guys. The Land Shark Garchomp, one of my favorite picks for the Master League, guys. This thing is a monster, and it ranks pretty high on PvPoke. So it's actually the top ranked non-legendary Pokemon on PvPoke, and that is because it is a powerhouse in the Master League, guys. One of the few non-legendaries with the stat product to really hold its own up against these overpowered legendaries in the Master League, guys. Garchomp is amazing. Now, it is recommended that you run Mudshot Outrage in the Community Day move of Earth Power, But I personally, if you've seen my videos with Garchomp in the Master League, guys, you'll know that I personally am a fan of the Dragon Tail Sand Tomb Earth Power moveset. And the reason why is because Dragon Tail got an update, and with that update, it made Dragon Tail an amazing move. You're able to apply some heavy fast move pressure with stab with Dragon Tail. And having a Sand Tomb gives you excellent opportunities to bait shields while also debuffing your opponent's defense. And you can really threaten with that hard-hitting Earth Power that has stab from the Community Day. Garchomp is amazing for the Master League, which is why it ranks number 3 on my list of the best non-legendaries to run in the Master League, guys. You're picking up key wins over just about all the top steel types in the meta, guys. You got a key win over Melmetal. That's because you are triple resisting the fast move of Thundershock. Those superpowers, Garchomp can live 2 superpowers no problem, while debuffing that defense with Sand Tomb and threatening to KO with a hard-hitting Earth Power. You beat Metagross as well, one of the top steel types that has seen a lot of usage these days with Zacian. You have a key win over Giratina Origin, even without running Dragon Tail. But Dragon Tail just makes that Giratina matchup even better. And I will say, guys, with the Mudshot moveset, you lose to Giratina Altered. You actually beat Giratina Altered if you run the Dragon Tail moveset, guys. Because while debuffing that defense, it makes those super effective Dragon Tails chunk the health of Giratina Altered even more, guys. You can also beat Kyogre with that moveset and Groudon. So I highly recommend, although it is recommended on PV Poke that you run Mudshot, Outrage, Earth Power, I'm going to recommend running Dragon Tail, Sand Tomb, Earth Power. You pick up a lot more key wins with that moveset. And so yeah, Garchomp, amazing, guys. If you've seen my content on the Master League this season, you'll know how strong Garchomp is, which is why it ranks number 3 on my list of the top 10 best non-legendary Pokemon in the Master League, guys. That is Garchomp. Let's have a look at number 2, guys. All right, number 2, guys, none other than Togekiss, coming in at number 2 on my top 10 best non-legendary Pokemon in the Master League. Togekiss, the premier charmer in the Master League, guys. It has the stats to really hold up in the Master League. You're able to apply heavy fast move pressure with Charm. That Charm, of course, has Stab with the Fairy typing. You'll definitely want to be running Ancient Power and Flamethrower. Flamethrower gives you excellent coverage for those Steel types. And Ancient Power gives you an opportunity to do some chip damage, but mostly for that sweet Ancient Power boost, guys. If you're able to boost with Ancient Power, forget about it. It is generally game over if you're able to get that Ancient Power boost. And you can hit those flyers for super effective damage with Ancient Power. You'll want that for the Togekiss Mirror matchup and for those other flyers in the meta as well, like Lugia, guys. Those Ancient Powers do add up. Togekiss, of course, completely shuts out Yveltal. Not a lot of people are using Yveltal these days, but you may run into one or two. It has a key win, of course, over Dragonite. It does beat Zacian, guys. Oh my goodness. Any Pokemon that has a win over Zacian is A-okay in my book. Even though I do have a Hundo Zacian and I love running it, I don't like going up against it, to be honest. It is not a fun time because Zacian is OP. And Togekiss beats Zacian. That charm damage is just far too OP. You can live a play rough while also digging away with that charm damage, guys. You beat both the Giratinas with Togekiss, of course. A lot of people run Giratina Origin just because it does beat Zacian. And it is an excellent steel counter. So you're going to be running into the Giratinas. And it's nice to know that Togekiss just absolutely dominates them. Of course, Togekiss will be losing to the steel types, as the steel types do resist the heavy fast move pressure and charm. Gonna lose to Kyogre. Kyogre just outbulks Togekiss, and you're both doing neutral fast move pressure. That's just plain and simple. Kyogre just outbulks it. It says that it loses to Groudon, which is a very narrow loss, guys. if you shield up a Fire Punch, because that's all Groudon can do. The reason why is because most battlers will just no-shield those Fire Punches, and before you know it, they're adding up and you're getting KO'd by Groudon. But Togekiss does typically have a fantastic matchup up against Groudon. You lose to Mewtwo just because Togekiss cannot live 2 Side Strikes. One Side Strike, and you get a little scared, guys, because that does crazy damage to Togekiss. And most battlers are smart with their Mewtwo's. They will preserve the shields for Mewtwo. And Mewtwo can shield the Ancient Power and just hit you with those hard-hitting Side Strikes, which is why it falls to Mewtwo. But that charm damage cannot be ignored, guys. It's too OP. Togekiss, the number 2 non-legendary Pokemon to run. It has been in eggs. I'm sure a lot of you have hatched those Togeticks. You've got all kinds of candy to power up a Togekiss. I'm sure a lot of you already have a good Togekiss. If you do, you got a fantastic piece to the puzzle in terms of team building. Provides excellent Dragon-type coverage. And if your team needs some Dragon-type coverage, Togekiss is the way to go. Togekiss, number 2 on the list, guys. Now, last but certainly not least, let's see what made it to number 1 on my list, guys. All right, number 1, guys. Here it is. Escadrille. Good old Escadrille. Everyone's favorite squishy little mole. It is squishy, but my goodness, does Escadrille hit hard, guys. And if you're able to preserve shield advantage for Escadrille, it can put in the work and really dish out the damage on the Master League, guys. Escadrille, one of my favorite non-legendaries to run in the Master League, and that is just because it has such good coverage on the meta, guys, with its moveset of Mudshot, Drill Run, and Rock Slide. There's not a lot that you can't hit for either super effective or heavy neutral damage, guys, with that moveset. You just really need to play the right way with Escadrille, and that being preserving a shield advantage. If you can do that, you will have tremendous success with Escadrille. It is just very glassy, but because it hits so hard is why it is a solid non-legendary pick for the Master League, guys. It has key wins over the steel types being Metagross and Dialga. There is no harder counter to Dialga than Escadrille, and that is because you are resisting that Dragon Breath damage from Dialga. It basically resists every charge move that Dialga can throw, but you do end up shielding at least one because Escadrille is pretty glassy, guys. But you're able to outpace Dialga to those hard-hitting, super effective drill runs, and you can burst through those shields if they decide to shield and still take out the Dialga. No problem, guys. This is why Escadrille is number 1 on my list. Because of its coverage on the meta, shuts out Dialga, the number 1 Pokemon that most people run in the Master League. You can counter those other Dragon Breath users like Zekrom and Dragonite. You don't have the best matchup up against Palkia, but not a lot of people run Palkia, and you can get Palkia extremely low. That is really the only Dragon type that can really pose a threat to Escadrille, as it does get to those Aqua Tails really fast. But again, not a lot of people run those Palkias. You're mostly going to be running into Dialgas. You're going to see Zekrom. Zekrom's on the rise because Zekrom can take out those flyers, and it does have a solid win up against Zacian. So you're seeing a lot more Zekroms. Escadrille shuts out Zekrom, guys. You're able to resist that Dragon Breath damage, much like Dialga, and hit for super effective with your drill runs. You shut out Togekiss as well, guys. Everybody's running Togekiss for the Dragon type coverage, guys. Togekiss has a flying typing, and with that flying typing, you are able to hit it for super effective. Escadrille, one of the better anti-flyers in the Master League. You're able to hit them for super effective with Rock Slide. You can take care of a Lugia with 3 Rock Slides, no problem, all while resisting the fast move pressure on Lugia. You shut out Dragonite as well. You do lose pretty hard to Giratina Origin. That's just because Giratina can comfortably tank 2 drill runs from Escadrille while applying some strong neutral fast move pressure with the Shadow Claws. And even if they bait with gosh, what is the bait move? Holy smokes. Ominous Wind. My goodness. Holy smokes. I need more coffee. Ominous Wind. Even if they bait with Ominous Wind, guys, it only takes 2 with the Shadow Claws to take out Escadrille. So that's why, and Shadow Ball, forget about it. That's why Giratina does beat Escadrille. It is a close matchup with Mewtwo as well. Even though, even with the Steel typing resisting the Psycho Cuts and the Psy Strikes, Psy Strike just hits a little different, especially coming from a Mewtwo, guys. That's the thing with Escadrille. It's on the squishier side, so even resisted damage, especially coming from a Mewtwo, can really hurt. Which is why you'll want to preserve switch advantage for it. It does lose pretty hard to Zacian as well. 1 close combat nearly one-shots Escadrille from full health. And it is very close with Melmetal as well. It technically loses to Melmetal, but they're not all even shield and even health scenarios. And if Escadrille has the shield advantage or health advantage, you're going to be beating Melmetal as well. That is very close. So Escadrille, fantastic, guys. You know, if you've watched my content on the Master League this season, you know how fond of Escadrille that I am. Fantastic pick for the Master League. My number 1 best non-legendary Pokemon for the Master League. And there you have it, guys. So what do you think, guys? Did I get it right? Do you agree with my picks? Do you agree with the order, guys? If you do or if you don't, let me know in the comments. Did I get it right? Did I rank them the right way? Do you agree with the order? Let me know in the comments. And I really wanted to put this list together for you guys, just because I know not everyone has a fully stacked roster of 100% IV legendaries that they can run in the Master League. So I figured everybody out there has at least 1 or 2, maybe 3 solid legendaries on their roster that you can pair with some very strong non-legendary picks to really round out your team for the Master League. You know, we've got the Go Battle Days coming up, and with the Go Battle Days coming up this Saturday, I wanted to put out a list because if a lot of you are like me, those fingers get a little itchy and you just want to do a battle or two. So I wanted to put together a list of very strong non-legendary Pokemon that you can round out your team with and have some fun and compete in the Master League, guys, while it is still around. We've got it for a little less than a week now. And again, the Go Battle Days, which only has the Master League and Master League Classic. I wanted to put this out in case you're scratching your head wondering, you know, I've got a hundo here, but I've got some non-legendaries as well. What's the best one? This list, I hope, will help you decide, guys, and hopefully you're able to get out there, compete in the Go Battle Days this coming Saturday, and have some fun in the Master League, guys. So I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching, and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.